Okay, so we're driving along in a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit in the town centre. I've got one vehicle right close behind me. I've got a bus up ahead, nice distance so that I get a good view around the bus. I've got a zebra crossing up ahead with a high grip road surface, one pedestrian on the left. Mirror checks tells me that there's no real problem. There is one behind but not too close. The crossing is clear. I'm going to take the next right. So I've checked the mirrors and indicate. I've now got a few vehicles coming. If I brake just nice and gently, I can keep it moving and go right just past the bus. Checked it's clear, and I move into the turning, no issues at all. Didn't stop, so there's no risk of the vehicle behind. Check the mirrors again because I'm going to turn left here. Look into the right as well as into the left, just to make sure that it's nice and safe. Coming out around the parked vehicles, I've got one learner coming towards me now. So mirror check, come fully over to my side of the road, give them lots of space so they don't get pressurised. There is a turning to the right. There's also a postman there on the right. So I'm looking, he's going up into one of those houses, he's not going to come out in front. Mirror check now to move out past these parked vehicles, making sure that I'm aware of anybody that might be in the vehicles, anybody moving around the vehicles, in case a door opens or a pedestrian steps out. Got a crossroads in front, mirror checks tells me it's totally clear behind. I'm going to go right here, so I'm checking the mirrors and indicating to tell anybody on this main road. I have got that pedestrian in my view. I go into first gear. I'm going to stop now, secure it with a handbrake because I've got one van and now I've got somebody else just turned into this side road. So I'm watching them now, looking behind me, looking in front, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right as I come out to make sure it's perfectly clear. Parked cars on the right, one oncoming, so I've selected second gear but I'm going nice and slow, so there's lots of time and space. And I've got a crossroads ahead, I'm going to follow the road straight ahead. White van there, he's looking straight at me, one vehicle coming up behind, no other problems. Got green traffic light, just changing to amber, so I'm checking the mirrors, black one coming up behind me, so I'm showing him brake lights nice and early, nice gentle stop, controlling the vehicle behind me to make sure he doesn't come into the back of me. As soon as I've stopped, I can secure it. I've watched the vehicle behind, that vehicle has now stopped, and I'm just getting myself prepared for this green traffic light. There it goes. So I'm checking the mirrors all around, checking for those cyclists and motorcyclists coming up either side. Nobody's around. Coming under the bridge now, looking to see what's coming down the road towards me when I get the view. Mirror check, the vehicle behind is still following me, same. I got priorities here, but I'm just making sure that nobody's already rushing through the space. The junction on the left is clear, junction on the right's clear. A couple of pedestrians all in fine positions, no problems at all. I've got to give way. Mirror check, but there's nobody coming, so I can carry on round. I've got a very sharp right-hand bend. There's a green car emerging now. They've already gone for it. So I'm checking the mirrors again because they might have stopped instantly around that corner. So I'm bringing the speed right down, getting over to the left as far as I can away from any potential oncoming vehicle. Perfectly safe, so we carry on. Another postman on the right. He's fine, he's safe. I've got to give way, but again there's nobody coming. The mirror check tells me the same vehicle behind. No issue, no problem. Watching the two pedestrians on the right, they're fine. Junction to the right is fine. Staying in second gear because it's quite narrow. Got slow in the road. This is the second slow in the road. Sharp left-hand bend. So I'm mirror checking again. Watching the vehicles that might emerge left or right, all the way up. I've obviously got a university here, look. Lots of buildings, lots of pedestrians around, hidden away, just out of sight. Watching the one swinging out wide there, and watching the two vehicles coming down the hill. It's now clear. Mirror check, the one behind is just indicating to turn off the road. Just using a bit more gas, watching the car ahead that's just turning across my path. That's all clear. I got priority, but there's nobody coming, no real issues. Got a white van now who's moving up behind us. Up ahead of me, 80 yards, stop. I'm going to turn left at the top of the road, so I'm checking the mirrors again. White van behind, so I'm going to indicate for him. What I'm going to do here is just to slow down. I'm going to pop it into first gear and just use that first gear to come up nice and slowly to this stop line. I'm now going to stop here, apply the handbrake because it's a nice hill, checking right and left, right again. Ooh, vehicle coming. Now I've got no view at all because the van's in the way, so I'm going to wait until he's completely out of the way. I've got one coming up the hill, so I'm going to use plenty of revs on this car, and then moving away nice and gently. So we're coming up to a right-hand bend, caution pedestrians it says. I can see a high grip road surface on that bend, so potential there of a big problem, particularly if we have a larger vehicle coming the other way. Mirror checks tells me it's all clear behind. I had to slow in the road, so I'm going very, very slow to come round this bend, keeping it nicely onto my side of the road all the way round. That's all nice and clear, there was nobody coming. I've got another stop sign up ahead of me. I intend to turn left at the top here, so I'm checking the mirrors. I'll put an indicator on because there are vehicles around me, bringing the speed down nice and gently, keeping my tyres and tarmac visible when I stop. I'll put the handbrake on that the vehicles immediately move, so I'll still check all three mirrors before I move off. And I'm just going nice and slowly. No point in rushing up to the back of a stationary vehicle. He's now moving, so we're checking the mirrors again. I'm now going to position myself for this turn, come up to the stop line and stop. Apply the handbrake now, and I'm going to select first gear already. Nice cue here on the left, because we've got a red traffic light, so I'm going to take it into neutral and I'm going to totally relax. I can keep my eye on that red traffic light, and I'll then be able to see when the traffic's likely to turn, move rather, and it's just gone to green. So I'm selecting the first, and now I'm going to look at the traffic to my right to see if anybody's going to let me out. And she's letting me out, so I just give her a nice courtesy thank you. She now feels happy for letting me out because I thanked her for doing it. I've still got a green traffic light. I'm checking the mirrors. The vehicle in front's indicating to the left, now moving out into my path. I've now got a clear road ahead, but I'm aware that there's a potential for these workmen to step out. So I'm keeping it nice and steady, watching for the pedestrians that might cross the road in between the stationary vehicles here, watching for any vehicles that might come out of the garden centre. That's all clear now. Nothing on the junction on the left. Pedestrian crossing the road further ahead. That's a pedestrian crossing point with the island in the middle of the road, but there's no other pedestrians looking to cross. I've got a stationary bus ahead, and I've got one waiting to cross my path, so I'm just going to slow down a little bit, give them the opportunity to turn across. I've got nowhere to go anyway. Now it's clear to go ahead of us. I'm checking the mirrors. I'm going to indicate for the benefit of the bus driver so that he knows that I'm committed to come round him. I'm now coming from a 30 into a 40 mile an hour speed limit, so we're just bringing the speed up a little bit, and I've got a big white sign here telling me a roundabout with 3 other exits. I'm going to go straight ahead. So I'm going to check the mirrors, check the vehicles behind, keeping into the left-hand lane as I approach, planning to stop at this roundabout, but I'm looking to go. It is clear to go, I don't need to change gear there, so we'll just carry on. Just the left indicator to tell the vehicles behind I was using that exit. Just struggling a tiny bit, so, oh no, it's picking up now, that's fine. As we're coming up the hill here, it's picking up nicely. I've got a car emerging from the left, so I've checked the mirrors, coming off the gas. Somebody's flashed them to come out. They're now moving out of the way, making sure that the vehicle that flashed in didn't want to turn in, which he didn't. I'll now pick the speed up again. One pedestrian on the left, green traffic light way ahead. Now doing just under 40. Mirror checks, the vehicle behind is still following me. Warning triangle, pedestrian, school children rather, crossing. So we're checking ahead, checking in the mirrors, watching the green traffic light now, which might change to red. Selecting the left-hand lane, which is for straight ahead. Easing off a little bit, another mirror check, still got a green traffic light, so we're going through looking right and left. Everybody's stationary, that's fine. Red traffic light ahead, mirrors, now braking gently to control the traffic behind. Red brake lights so that they know that we're slowing down. Nice gentle stop to control them.